guys! Welcome back to my channel, Honey's MY Stories. So for today's video guys, we will be discussing about the quarantine exemption policy because I haven't elaborated this on my previous vlogs. Second is the RT-PCR exemption policy. I've received a lot of comments asking whether children are exempted for the RT-PCR test before their travel, so we will be answering that in this video. Third is we will be discussing the definition of fully vaccinated here in Malaysia so that you will be able to know if you need a booster shot before your travel or not. And lastly is the June 2022 travel requirements. Initially, I didn't plan to make any videos about this because there's actually no changes on the travel requirements, but I guess there are people out there that is not yet informed of the travel guidelines, so I'll be making this video. So shout out to Karen de Guzman for giving me the ideas of our topic for today's video. Now guys, I'm not a travel agent or a travel expert, but all of the information I will be sharing on this video is available online, so this is based on my research, and I will put links on the description box down below so that you will be able to check it yourself prior to your travel so that you will be updated. And guys, before we start, I would like to ask a little favor from you. If you can please click the like button so that it will help the channel's YouTube algorithm, and in that way this will be showed to more people who will be traveling to Malaysia soon. Hopefully this will be able to help them as well.
So please guys, click that like button, okay? Click.
I hope you did, and thank you so much for that guys. So without further ado, let's begin. In my previous vlogs, I mentioned that fully vaccinated travelers are no longer required to do an RT-PCR test before travel, no longer required of a quarantine and any arrival test. Well, that still stands up to the present. There's no changes on that. But I haven't discussed that there are unvaccinated travelers who can be exempted. So those unvaccinated individuals that are not required to do a quarantine and RT-PCR test. So first are the children. Children aged 17 years and below, whether they are vaccinated or unvaccinated, they are not required to do a quarantine, not required of RT-PCR test, and not required of any arrival test. So basically, the perks of adults that are fully vaccinated are the same with the perks that these children have. And second are the medically unfit for vaccination. So these people that have health issues, those that can't be vaccinated, can be exempted on the quarantine policy. They are not required to do a quarantine, but they should show a proof of vaccination exemption before their travel. The proof of vaccination exemption should be an endorsed document coming from a healthcare provider or a public health official. So failure to show any proof of vaccination exemption would lead them to do a quarantine. However, unlike children, medically unfit for vaccination individuals, they're still required to take an RT-PCR test 2 days before their travel to Malaysia, and they're also required to take another test upon their arrival here in Malaysia. So for those unvaccinated or partially vaccinated that needs to undergo the arrival test, you can actually take that at the airport. There are healthcare professionals that offers that in CLEA. Now, for you to be considered a fully vaccinated individual and for you to know whether you need a booster shot or not, then let's take a look on this table that I will show you. Now guys, this table that I will show you is coming from the Ministry of Health from Malaysia, and this is a guideline for you to know if you need a booster shot or not. And no worries guys, because I will put the link on the description box below so that you will be able to check it yourself after this video. So we can see on this table how many doses you need for every type of COVID vaccines, and also it varies depending on your age group. So it varies if you are 18 to 59 years old, and also for 60 years old and above. So I know that there's a lot here guys, but no worries, we'll discuss it one by one. Alright, so let's start with Sinovac and Sinopharm. And if you had this guys and you only had 2 doses, previously 2 doses was already fully vaccinated, but if you will be traveling to Malaysia right now, if you only had 2 doses of Sinovac and Sinopharm, regardless of your age, whether you're 18 to 59 years old or 60 years old and above, you are considered partially vaccinated. So you need 1 more shot or your 3rd dose so that you will be able to maintain your fully vaccinated status. For Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Covaxin, Covishield, Novavax, and Sputnik 5. These type of vaccines require 2 doses to be fully vaccinated for 18 to 59 years old. However, if you only had 2 and you are 60 years old and above, then you still need 1 more shot or a booster shot to be considered as a fully vaccinated individual. And for CanSino, Johnson & Johnson, and Sputnik Light, if you're 18 to 59 years old, you only need 1 dose and you're considered fully vaccinated. But if you're 60 years old and above, then you still need another dose to be considered as fully vaccinated. So basically, guys, if you had Sinovac or Sinopharm, regardless of your age, and for others who had other type of COVID vaccines and you're 60 years old and above, then you still need to have a booster shot. So guys, make sure that your second dose or your third dose of vaccine is taken more than 14 days before your travel, or else you will be considered partially vaccinated. For CanSino, Johnson & Johnson, and Sputnik Light, I believe you had to have more than 28 days before your travel so that you will be considered as fully vaccinated. So as I have mentioned, guys, basically, if you are 18 to 59 years old and you had Sinovac or Sinopharm, and if you are 60 years old and above, regardless of any type of vaccine, you need to have a booster shot. So others that had Pfizer, Moderna, and those types of vaccine who are 18 to 59 years old, as long as you had 2 doses, and for Johnson & Johnson, CanSino, and Sputnik Light, you only need to have at least 1 and you're still considered as fully vaccinated. So I will put the link on the description box down below so that you can check it yourself and you can review it prior to your travel. Now that you know the definition of fully vaccinated here in Malaysia, let's proceed with the travel guidelines for June 2022. And as I have mentioned at the start of this video, there's actually no changes from the travel guidelines last month, so I will just be reiterating it for you right here. So for you to travel to Malaysia, you only need few things. First is you need to download My Sejahtera app, and you need to fill out corresponding details on the traveler's icon on that app. Second is you need to verify your COVID-19 vaccine certificate on My Safe Travel link, which I will put in the description box as well. Third is you need to have your passport. Now fourth, if you will be traveling here for work or for study, then you need to have your visa. But if you're coming here just for travel, then there are countries that have free visa pass here in Malaysia, so you can just check that out on Google. You can actually search that, how long you can stay here without visa in Malaysia. Let me know, guys, if you want me to make a video about that in the comment section down below. So those 4 are the important travel requirements if you will be traveling to Malaysia soon. Now, if you are partially vaccinated or unvaccinated individual, then you still have additional requirements to comply. First is that you need to take RT-PCR test 2 days before your travel to Malaysia. Second is that upon your arrival, you need to have an antigen rapid test 24 hours upon your arrival. And lastly, you need to undergo a quarantine for 5 days. So those are the additional requirements if you will be traveling here to Malaysia and you are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. And guys, just an additional information, there are airlines out there that require their guests to have a face mask that doesn't have a breathing valve. So you just need to have like mask like N95 or the surgical mask, the regular mask that we have. So please take note of that. And that's it for today, guys. I hope that you learned a thing or two in this video that will make you more confident on your future travel to Malaysia. Please leave a comment on the comment section down below if you have questions or suggestions for the video that I should make next. And please click the subscribe button if you haven't already. And guys, if you haven't liked this video, please give this a thumbs up. So yes, I think I'm gonna end the vlog now, and thank you so much for watching. Once again, this is Honey and you're watching Honey's MY Stories. Bye bye for now.